Hey guys, Luke here, and we are back for another video. Now, the topic of this video, I didn't think I'd be talking about again so soon, but a few days ago, this one actually went down quite well with you guys. It creates a bit of discussion. It was a video talking about Sonny Bill Williams. Now, I think we can all agree Sonny Bill Williams is a controversial figure. He's also very good to talk about in terms of creating a lot of interest, which is why I believe the NRL actually signed him in the first place, allowed his signing to happen with the Roosters, more so than his actual playing ability. But in the video, I did talk about the fact that Ricky Leutele is a teammate of his at Toronto, was a teammate of his at Toronto, has played in the NRL, won a premiership with the Sharks, and then left, I think, the next season to go over to Toronto to take up a pretty decent contract with them. So there are quite a lot of parallels with Sonny Bill Williams. Now, Sonny Bill was allowed to return to the NRL with the Roosters. No worries. They've valued him at, I don't know, 150,000 or whatever, which is significantly less than probably what his value actually is, I would say. I'd say he's on unders. Also, due to the fact that the Roosters, how they even have the cap space first up, they've got so many superstar players, so there's going to be some question marks there. Then they add in Sonny Bill, so yeah, they're paying him unders, obviously. I know people have said it's for the last couple of games in the season. My point is, since when have they ever done that? I know it's a weird season, definitely a weird season because of the COVID stuff, but there's a reason they have that deadlines and stuff. And even though it is a strange season, I feel like they should have had deadlines still on signing players because, you know, a couple of games out from the finals, Roosters are bringing in big young Sonny Bill. And, you know, whether Sonny Bill is good on the field or not, he's definitely going to have an influence off the field. He's definitely, you can hear about the 2013 side, definitely lifted their spirits, and the Roosters looking to go back to back, going for a three-peat. They're definitely probably going to need a little bit of inspiration, and Sonny Bill coming in might just be that. Even if it's just on the training field, I definitely think he will lift the side. So they are going to get an advantage of him, even if he's not playing that well on field, because I can't really see him having that much of an impact. He literally has not played in quite a while, and when he did, he wasn't great. He hasn't trained with the Roosters. He's going to be in quarantine. I know you can train, but I think lots of NRL players will agree that you can train as much as you want off the field. You need to get those minutes in on the field for it to actually be kind of effective. But the point of this video isn't necessarily about Sonny Bill. It's the fact of the mistreatment of everyone else around him. I talked about briefly, well, maybe not even briefly, but I talked about past instances where the NRL has denied team signing players on unders. Used Israel Flowers' example with Parramatta. Some people knew about that, some people didn't. But there are multiple instances of it where they've been, they've tried to sign them for unders, and the NRL stepped in and said, nah, we value such and such at this player. I think there was a thing with Matt Bowen one time. Cowboys wanted to sign him, and they said, no, he's a rep player, even though he hadn't even played rep in, 5-6 years or something, and he was on the back end of his career, but they said, nah, we value him at this much, and you've got to sign him for this much. Now, they've done the same with Ricky Leutele. Like I said, Sonny Bill's teammate, they've set his price at 60,000, I think it was, which I think if you value it out, they've said he's a $600,000 a year player in a normal season, which I think is absolutely ludicrous. If Sonny Bill, he's on $5 million a season at Toronto, I don't know what Ricky Leutele's on, but it wouldn't be that much, and they've let Sonny Bill sign for 150,000. Ricky Leutele, they valued him at 60,000. The Storm is who he wants to sign for. I thought he was going to go back to the Sharks for sure, but the Storm, they need a centre. Momorowski's now injured, who was a loan player anyways. Seeing they loaned out Harry Grant, they did a bit of a swap loan. Momorowski's there injured, so they're short on a centre. Ricky Leutele would be a great fit for him, in my opinion. At least if he plays half decent. Same thing goes to Sonny Bill. Goes for Leutele as Sonny Bill. He's going to be quarantined for a couple of weeks. Won't know any of the plays that the Storm do. At least Sonny Bill has the history of playing with the Roosters, where it's the same coach as when he was there. There's some same players that were still there from before. It's not a complete set of new things. I mean, the Storm, for Ricky Leutele, he's never been there, won't know the plays. I'm sure in the 2 weeks he can get sent like a book or something of all the plays, but just running the plays and reading things are two different things. But they valued him at 60,000, and the Storm can only offer 30,000. I understand that, but you've already given Sonny Bill an exemption. How can you sit there and deny Ricky Leutele the same thing? Considering that their teammates, they're pretty like for like in terms of allowing an exemption. Now, I know they're not technically a like for like because Sonny Bill's going to bring in so much more marketing. Sonny Bill is a superstar. Ricky Leutele, inside of the NRL, you probably know who he is. Even when he was playing, was not a superstar centre by any means. He was just one of those solid centres, one of those players that every team needs. He's perfect for the Sharks at the time, but by no means was he a superstar. In a team that won the premiership, he was a good defensive player, pretty solid in attack, but Jack Bird was your star centre. You had Valentine Holmes and a host of other players who were your star backs. Ricky Leutele was not that, but he's a good, honest player, which just makes it more baffling as to why they valued him so high. Especially considering the Roosters themselves apparently signed Joey Manu on less than $600,000 a year, and they valued Leutele at $600,000, who's at the back end of his career. Joey Manu is the best centre in the game at the moment and is on less. Now, you could say that's shrewd business by the Roosters. It definitely is, but it's being allowed to happen by the NRL when it's not allowed to happen for other clubs, is my point. So you can't take anything away from the Roosters. They're definitely doing great business, even if there is some dodgy stuff going on. Look, this isn't like on the Roosters. This is on the NRL. The NRL picking and choosing what they want to allow team by team, not just setting a black and white rule. It creates a lot of controversy because, oh, well, Sonny Bill, yeah, he's worth more, he's more valuable. Send him to the Roosters, the top team. But, oh, Melbourne Storm, also a pretty solid team. But, oh, Ricky Leutele, sorry, mate, you can't play. But, however, I will say, since I was going to record this video last night, I'm now recording it in the morning. Buzz Rothfield has now reported that the NRL has sort of backflipped on that and they're actually going to allow Ricky Leutele to sign with the Storm. So all of what I'm saying, it is still valid, but it just shows you the NRL, they've got no backbone. If they're going to do it, stick to it. They have faced a lot of backlash and it's worked. It's worked for us. We've got them to change through all of the call-outs and all that sort of stuff. But it just shows how shit the NRL is running things. Instead of realising from the start that this was a bad move, it took them announcing it, saying it's not going to happen, and then the public backlash, and then literally within like not even 24 hours, they're like, oh shit, okay, we stuffed up, right, let's go, let's allow him. So it's like, well, how are you getting this shit wrong to start off with? And there's a lot of problems in the game, a lot of good things happening in the game, lots of good games over the weekend, lots of refereeing howlers, it's just constantly happening. But that sort of stuff, that's just human error. That stuff's going to happen. Heat of the moment. Referees are going to make mistakes. There shouldn't be mistakes with the higher ups. They should be getting this shit right. Clubs are being run very poorly. So many clubs are being run into the ground at the moment. And the NRL itself looks like it's been running into the ground as well. Now, V'landys has done a pretty decent job. I won't say he's done a great job. He's done a pretty good job. He takes a lot of the credit for things as well, which maybe might be out of his hands anyways, but he takes the credit for it. But he was the face of the game at the toughest time. Him and Todd Greenberg. Greenberg's obviously gone, but V'landys is the man. He's the man that everyone likes at the moment. So I don't know if he's going to be a popular opinion, but he's just another guy. I feel like in a couple of years, everyone will turn on him too. And I feel like this might be the start of it. I feel like you can't just come and pick and choose. Like, he's come out and said, oh, I would have liked Sonny Bill to play with the Warriors, but, he didn't want to play with the Warriors. So it's like, well, don't let him play then. So that they've literally bitched down to Sonny Bill by letting Sonny Bill control where he wants to play. If he's going to play for unders, well, so be it. Play for the Warriors. Like, it's not fair. You can't just let everyone just sign for the top team. What's Ricky Leutele to, play for a little bit and win a premiership? I mean, I guess that kind of is what he's doing at Melbourne. Because like I said, he was a former Sharks player. Melbourne are looking very, very good this year. And he is signing for a small contract as to what he could probably get at other clubs. But a lot of the bottom clubs, actually, I think like the Warriors came out and said they don't want Leutele because, what's the point? There's only a couple games left in the season by the time he's available. Whereas at the Storm, he can play the finals and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I just don't like this whole thing with the NRL where they're picking and choosing and then, they're allowing like guys like Sonny Bill and stuff to dictate what they want to do. It should be the NRL dictating. They should be the one who's in the power. They have the power, they just don't use it. And when they do use it, they use it stupidly, is my point. So, yeah, just the fact that they bent over for Sonny Bill and the Roosters, and they do it time and time again for the Roosters, I will say, seem to happen a lot. A lot of things happen with the Roosters that probably wouldn't happen in other clubs. And sort of people in the last video were saying, I'm just a salty hater of Sonny Bill or the Roosters. And yeah, I'm a bit salty at that. I think a lot of the NRL is quite salty. Roosters fans obviously going to lap it up. Like, why wouldn't you? If you're a Roosters fan, nothing against you, like you're just a Roosters fan, like who's enjoying the success. If my Bulldogs are doing the same, I'd probably be doing the same thing. I'd probably be going, oh, these guys are just salty. But at the end of the day, something is definitely dodgy with the Roosters and the NRL. The fact that they get so many things that happen to them that benefit them that other clubs don't get, it's just frustrating. At times, the Broncos were the same over the years. It seemed like everything was sort of going the Broncos' ways. And now it's sort of the tides have turned a little bit. And I think the NRL is better for it. I feel like having the Roosters at the top every year, I don't think it's a good thing for the game, especially considering I don't think the Roosters as a whole promote the game well. Like, not in the sense that they're bad for the sport or anything, but just in the sense that people don't really care about the Roosters. Obviously, you have the Roosters, but you don't really see too many like super diehard Roosters fans. Everyone's kind of like, yeah, they're okay. Like, obviously there are some, but in terms of promoting the sport, the Roosters probably aren't it. But the Broncos, at least they kind of had some credibility, the Queensland side. I don't know, I'm just rambling now. The point of this video was to talk about Ricky Leutele not being able to sign, which he has now been allowed to due to public outrage, essentially. And I just wanted to point out that it's a load of shit, that it took outrage from everybody for something to happen from the NRL. Like, it shouldn't have had to happen. The NRL should have just done it. They should have set it up. I don't think you would have seen any other clubs complaining about it. And yeah, I can't figure out how they can let Sonny Bill straight in and then not let in Ricky Leutele. And like I said, it took public outrage for it to happen. So, I don't know. In the end, the NRL did get there, but they just make it harder than what it has to be. And it happens time and time again, and it's super frustrating as a fan. I'm sure the people in the comment section will agree. The NRL, how it's run, is super frustrating. So, yeah, if you do agree, let me know. If you disagree, definitely let me know as well, because I did ramble quite a bit. So, I'm assuming there's going to be some people disagreeing with me in the comment section below, but that's okay. We're here for a discussion, so I don't mind that. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to wrap up the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke and YT. Right, guys, I've been talking a lot here. I've had my say. It's time for you guys to have your say. Now, I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.